In this video, we will be going over Jewish dating, marriage, and divorce, its differences and similarities when compared to society. Jewish Dating, Marriage, and Divorce by Andrew Zlotnick. Dating in the Jewish culture is not too far off from everyone else. It varies depending on how religiously you and your significant other observe the religion. In the more conservative aspect, it's a rite of passage and only done if both sides are mature enough. Both must see a connection in each other, and in case of the woman, she must be comfortable enough. If you were on the more reformed side, then you would do everything someone else would do when starting to date, like going out to dinner whenever and getting to know each other. The ways that people in the Jewish custom go about dating are solely reliant on observance level of one or other and how they were raised. Marriage. The Jewish marriage is a called contractual relationship. The marriage contract in a Jewish wedding is called a ketubah. This is a certification that must be signed by the husband and given to the wife as a gift from the husband. Intermarriage. Anyone who is not Jewish can marry someone civilly who is Jewish. However, a Jew and a non-Jew cannot get married in a religious ceremony. Some may encourage the non-Jewish spouse to convert, but this is still not optimal because Jews do not encourage conversion, and the concern is the child may not be raised Jewishly. Before the ceremony, the men must wear a suit or white robe called a kittel, and the bride wears a gown that keeps her fully clothed and must have a veil. And during this time, the ketubah is observed and signed. However, the signing must be witnessed and signed by two people who are not related to the bride and groom. During the ceremony, it must be held under some sort of canopy. This represents the bride and groom's first house, called a chuppah. Within the chuppah, the couple receives the 7 blessings and the husband gives the wife the contract. Traditional customs, such as the bride walking around the groom in a circle and stepping on glass, are also as followed. After the ceremony, there is a feast and music and traditional dancing. Both the bride and groom are lifted on chairs and paraded around the room in celebration. The meals that exist at this party are traditionally kosher, which means no mixing of milk or meat products. What comes after is part of their observance. For 1 week after the wedding, the couple will be invited to 7 different houses for the whole week. This gives a chance for the families to host the bride and groom and celebrate their marriage. Newlyweds after this will typically find a place to settle down and start a family. This can be a house or an apartment. When starting a family, it's not too different from typical families. Either both the husband and wife can work to support the family and with the end goal in mind of creating children. While it is true that the definition of to be fruitful and multiply is 1 child of each gender, many Jewish couples feel obligated to have more than 2 children. In sex, in the Orthodox tradition, the man is not allowed to have sex with his wife when she is menstruating. Traditionally, the man is obligated by Jewish law to keep his wife sexually fulfilled. And aside from these 2 things, having sex is like anyone else having sex in a relationship. In gender roles, the gender roles may vary depending on how strictly you follow the religion, but women are treated with respect. In more traditional families, the wife has adopted more feminine roles, but this can change with time. For example, women can work in ultra-Orthodox families so the husband can study Torah. In the case of the children are seen as the most important part of the family because they continue the legacy. When the couple have children, their children traditionally are not named after living relatives. Instead, it's traditional for children to be named after deceased relatives to keep their memory alive. Unfortunately, with divorce, it's also like marriage. It's a contractual process. The man must give a separate contract called a get, which gives permission for the wife to divorce him. However, the only problem with this process is both sides must agree to the divorce, but the man is the one who must start the process. Otherwise, the woman cannot divorce. During post-divorce, there is a certain period of time where the woman and man cannot get remarried. For the man, it's 30 days, and for the woman, it's 90 days. However, after these timeframes, if one or the other date and remarry, and then they break up again, they cannot remarry the first spouse. In an overall view, in the Jewish culture, dating, marriage, and divorce and family is something to be desired and cherished. It's not too far off from other cultural events of the same thing. However, there are some small differences that make it unique. Whether it's the ceremonies itself or the family, it's still as traditional as any other religion. I thank you for listening about Jewish culture, and I hope you learned a lot. You have a good day.